What's up, y'all? Hey, I heard you say you wanted to get into real estate. So I wanted to just go over what a closing disclosure is. So when you go to the bank, you get ready to get your loan, you get approved for your loan, they're gonna have a package for you. It's gonna be called a closing disclosure. And in this package, it's showing you all the fees, everything about the property that you just got approved to buy. So some of the things that's gonna go into this closing disclosure is where the property is, how much you pay for the property, the type of loan you're getting. So you can get a 30-year loan, a 15-year loan, a fixed rate mortgage, uh, uh, a conventional loan, FHA loan. All of these different things go into a closing disclosure, and it's going to tell you all about it. So, for instance, one of the ones that I bought was 25,000. So I paid 25,000 for this house. In my closing disclosure, it's gonna have everything about this loan that I'm getting. So on a $25,000 house, I got a $22.5 thousand loan. So that means they gave me a loan for 22,000 on a $25,000 home at 4% interest. So the interest rate is very important. I say I like to say that it's not important, but it really is. It's not important because you're an investor. We invested in these properties. Our tenant is paying the mortgage. So it's not really all of that important, but you do have to consider it because I got a 4% loan on this property right here. Right now, interest rates is about 7%. So I got a 4% loan, so my payments is about $200, $300. They're about $300, $400, right? So for a 4%, if it's 300, if you got a 7%, that's gonna take the interest. That's gonna take your payments way up higher, right? So it'll probably be 450. So you do have to consider that whenever you buying this property. So on a $22,000 loan is 4%, and my monthly payment plus interest is $110. They gave me $22,000 and I'm paying $110 in principal and interest. So principal is the 22,000, that's the principal. So I'm paying $100 towards that. Plus the interest. Whenever they give you a loan, they want some extras on top of that. So that's gonna be your interest. So it all, and then after that, you have to pay taxes and insurance. So your taxes is what the property taxes is. A bank, they take that out the rip. So you don't get behind. You know, people lose their houses because they didn't pay taxes and things like that. When you get a loan from the bank, they putting that into your mortgage so that won't happen, right? Because they're loaning you this property, so they need to make sure that you pay this property taxes. You need to have insurance, so they include all of that into your mortgage payment, so it's no problem. So if a tree fall on your house, they're covered. If you didn't pay taxes, they already paid them, you're covered. So all of these things go into your mortgage payment, and it's gonna show up on your closing disclosure. So I showed you an example of one of mine, and in mine it was 110 towards principal and interest, and then an estimated 150 in taxes and insurance. So they gave me $22,000, and I have to pay $300 a month. So just think about that for 1 second. If I gave you $20,000, can you pay me back $300 a month? That's what real estate is. It's them loaning you some money. They, in that case, they loaned me $20,000 and I had to pay $300 a month. That's that's real low, because you taking this property and you putting a tenant in there, and the tenant is the one paying that back. So if I got a $300 mortgage, the tenant is paying about $700, right? So that put $400 of extra money into my pocket. So is your insurance included with the mortgage? Yes. Insurance, taxes, interest. We call it PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. All of that is included in that mortgage payment. So you paying that every month. It's all included. So some other things that closing disclosure gonna show you is gonna show you how much you need to close on this house. So before you even go to the bank and sign the papers, they're gonna be like, all right, you need this amount of money to close on this deal. In this case that I'm using, it was $6,000. I needed $6,000 in closing costs. So the rest of the closing costs gonna be your appraisal. How much an appraisal costs? An appraisal is usually about $500. They charge you to pull your credit report. They charge you for the title fees, the title searches, and everything like that, because they got to look up this title and make sure it's good. Make sure there's no liens on it. Like somebody may do a roof, and the person that owned the house didn't pay them when they did their roof. So now they put a lien on the property, all right? And if they got a lien on it, they can't sell it to you like that, or the bank won't approve you for a loan for that. So you'll have to. That's why it's important to get a title search, and the bank make you do that. So that's something you don't have to worry about. Some other things that go in there, they make you pay the insurance for a whole year. All right. So the money that you're paying, you don't have to worry about that. You pay a year, like I think mine is like $100 a month. So I paid them $1,200 for the whole year. Now I don't have to worry about insurance for the whole year. It costs money to, register at the courthouse. Like it costs money for recording fees, for the, just for the county assessor and stuff like that. So all of this is going into your closing costs. Let's see what else we got here for your closing costs and stuff. That's pretty much it. But for the most part, I just wanted to break down like what a closing disclosure was. Whenever you buy your house, you'll get this piece of paper that say everything you need to know about this property. You know what I mean? So that's what a closing disclosure is. You won't get to this point until you sit down at the table with the bank and y'all signing those papers. When you go in and sign your papers, this is some of the stuff that they giving you. So I just wanted to run over that for a minute. How long do it take to buy a house and close the deal? Usually about 60 days. That's all it takes. If you go into the bank today and be like, hey, I want a loan to buy a house, 60 days later, you should be at that table with one of these, a closing disclosure, saying, hey, I just bought this house. It take about 60 to 90 days. Only thing that go into it is they going to go to the property, make sure it is what it is. They're going to look at your contract. I went over contracts. I went over appraisals. Those is two things that you about to take into the bank that the bank want to see. And whenever you get all of those done, then you got your crib. So if you got a deal on the table, go talk to the realtor, call the number, whatever it may be, put in an offer and tell them, hey, I want to buy this. And then whenever y'all get all of that done, go to the bank. The bank will sit down with you, do all of their numbers, and 60 days later, you'll be ready to go. But I just wanted to share that with y'all real quick, but that's it.